And it clicked for me. It's about the lack of control over the perception that potential fans or just viewers of their content may have and how it may project into spaces and things that they don't want people to believe, right? Because in that clip, Blueface is literally saying, hey, the more that we as artists stream, the more opportunities that we have to look lame, and we can only be lame so many times before our brand starts to spiral out of control. And I think what makes that clip even funnier, right, is the fact that DDG is obviously trolling him when he says, oh man, you just did it. You only got 2 more of those. And then we're seeing this clip everywhere and we're all moving past whatever the stupid thing is that he may feel like he did. And that really is the internet in a nutshell, right? Artists have to realize that fans do not care as much about these moments as you may think they do. And I get it, right? Like, artists are scared to be seen without control of their art and control of their brand and their world. But here's the problem. Some of the biggest artists in the world are doing the exact opposite.
True.
So this week, Justin Bieber did a really interesting move, and he basically launched a streaming channel. Justin Bieber, like, playing basketball, skateboarding, playing pool. So he created this like $20 million warehouse. There's like 100-foot screen where you can like see all this live stream comments. It's like he's like living in like the Truman Show. Like, it's like everyone can just watch him live his life. But in the back of the warehouse, they have a full set so he can perform music live on this streaming channel. And what I think is really interesting about where I think this is going is this is how he's going to monetize his music in an age of where music streaming is making no money. Listen to this. In 2021, Bieber broke Spotify's record for most all-time monthly listeners ever with a whopping 83.3 million streams. While those numbers are obviously impressive, Spotify reportedly pays 0.004 cents per stream. So for 83.3 million individual song streams, Bieber would only pocket $333,000. So what it shows you is the current model, the only way to maintain the money that $333,000. So what it $333,000. $333,000. So what I reportedly paid.
That's that. Okay, why he didn't say nothing? Why he didn't say nothing?
Is 0.004 cents per stream. So for 83.3 million individual song streams, Bieber would only pocket $333,000.
$333? That's $333, not $333,000.
So what it shows you is the current model, the only way to maintain the money that he's used to making is to tour.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to tour. And I think what Justin Bieber has figured out, because of how big streaming has become, he will start to stream music and showcase music to drive more album sales or whatever.
He's literally not that interesting. Me watching him play basketball, okay, good, you got a 3-pointer, like, snore. People don't have enough time in the day to pay attention to that. He's got to double down on concerts. He's got to go hang out with Taylor Swift and say, I know this is tough, but making money is tough. It's not about just playing in your warehouse. That's not interesting.
I think you're right on the it's boring, you got to do the hard work, making money is hard. All of those points was a mic drop moment where I think
True. You started it. Keep going.
you're wrong is how big streaming is becoming and how much money streamers are making by doing something that doesn't make sense to us. This is for the next gen. Like, the next generation is like really spending a ton of money and time on these streaming platforms. I think it's interesting for brands to start tapping into this. Like, I think that there is something interesting about having this view into what happens at a brand, how to do it in a way that is less on 24 hours a day. I think the brands that do this first will break out.
So, I mean, look at Justin Bieber. Living life, yes, slightly curated, but still not mysterious, and not acting larger than life in the traditional artist ways. Now, will anybody here argue that doing these streams has made Justin Bieber any less of a superstar? Of course not. And I think that Justin Bieber's stream actually taps into something that Lil Yachty brought up during his point. He mentioned that, you know, in his own pursuit of streaming and content, he felt like there was an issue with showing things things that made him feel connected to the art and connected to the music. And I hear that concern a lot from artists. And I think that the big phobia around streaming is, how do I stream without having to be a streamer, right? How do I stream and do these things and take advantage of it without me feeling like I'm giving up my artistic integrity, or people actually thinking that I'm an influencer or a streamer first and not in a music artist second or third? And I think that Justin Bieber's stream shows a really good mixture of all that stuff, right? Like, I'm watching him be human and be, whatever
Be both.
a regular person Justin Bieber is, but I'm also watching him have a jam session and work on music and write out songs, and I'm getting to see the real artist side of Justin Bieber. So I would say, if anything, that stream has made Justin Bieber fans feel way more connected to him and his artistry. Now, here's the part that I think a lot of artists don't understand, but it's something that Justin Bieber's team and label 100% understand. And it's that streaming doesn't just build connection with your fan base and your audience, it also builds a content bank. Wait, quick pause, because a lot of you have been asking, how can I work with you guys one-on-one? And yes, we can run almost any type of marketing campaign at this point, but honestly, we prefer working with clients from a consulting standpoint, because we actually get a chance to deep dive into their music. We can work on their brand, we can work on their content strategy, we can tie it all together into a marketing campaign. Basically, we can give you a blueprint on how to grow, monetize, and win. So if you're an artist that's serious about getting their branding together, their content strategies together, their marketing together, then apply for a call with our country brand agency arm using the link in the description below. Serious inquiries only, please, guys. So if this sounds like something you need, once again, hit that link in the description. And if not, we still love you anyway. All right, guys, commercial break over. Let's get back to the video. Now, here's the part that a lot of artists just don't understand. Streaming not only builds connection with your fan base, it actually builds a pretty hefty content bank. And you can do so by using this little known trick that streamers have been using to get press attention since the dawn of time.
This phrase, clip farming, which is something I see frequently on the internet now. It seems like it's an attempt of people to say things that are kind of like outlandish because they know that they will then get clipped. Is that how clip farming works?
Well, it's not necessarily outlandish, but it's like purposely being funny. I think I'm one of the funniest people on earth. Like, if Kevin Hart didn't exist, I would be Kevin Hart, literally. Like, I think if me and Kevin Hart did one-on-one stand-up, I'm on one stage, he on the other stage, I had a bigger crowd.
Is that clip farming right there?
That was definitely clip
That was it.
So, I mean, DDG's being funny, but he definitely gave you guys the blueprint to go viral from posting. Now, streamers often clip farm to get salacious or crazy or out there takes that they can use to then get posted by the blog pages and the meme page. And now look, I do think that artists can take a page out of that playbook, right? If you're that type of artist and you don't mind that type of attention and backlash around yourself, then yeah, do some streams where you say, you know what I'm saying, and give some crazy takes. And there's a very high chance that you can get an organic piece of content because you will probably create something that will start a conversation within your fan base. But I do also think that there are artistic ways to clip farm, right? Like, you can do things centered around your music that are so salacious and so out there, whether that be creatively or visually, or, you're doing a stunt, right? Like, imagine somebody playing a piano, please don't do this, but imagine somebody playing a piano while like jumping out of a plane or something, bro. That's basically clip farming. They're for sure going viral. And I think that in the best case scenario, you end up creating a moment that helps you go viral and helps you start conversation. Worst best case scenario, you got some on-camera practice. And if you're thinking to yourself, man, Corey, I think it's crazy that I have to think about streaming just to add more pieces of content. I already make a lot of content. I do my cool performance videos. I got this one coming up in front of this real chill church location I have. I don't need to add content to my bank. I would start by saying, one, you and I both know that's not true. And two, if you think that's wild, wait until you learn how labels are using streaming content to help build this next part of their marketing engine.
Record labels are posing as fans online and creating fan pages to further promote the artists they work with. Although this might sound like a conspiracy theory to someone who hasn't heard it before, who's outside of the music business, this is talked about very freely in music right now. In fact, I would say it is the go-to digital marketing strategy right now. Almost every artist that I've ever heard of who's in album cycle within the last year has done it. But as anyone who's ever run a fan page before knows, it takes a lot of time and effort to run one of these. Often this involves posting somewhere between 1 to 5 times a day and also gathering the right materials so that you have good stuff to post. In a story I put out yesterday for Billboard, I discussed one very important source of material that labels will use in their fan page strategy. So here's the story. I found that music marketers are turning increasingly towards unique, in-person, often intimate events in order to help their digital marketing strategy. By hosting something super special in person, it often encourages fans to create user-generated videos, which then amplifies the event from something that was probably only held for like 50 to 200 people into something that can be consumed by millions of people all around the world. All American Rejects House Party Tour is a perfect example of this. I didn't get to go. I saw so many clips online that I almost felt like I did. Well, is another great example. I also didn't get to go to that because I don't live in Brooklyn, but all my friends who live in Brooklyn were posting all these photos and live streams of it, and I was able to watch it from across the country. So anyways, how does this relate to the fan page strategy? Well, just because music marketers are turning increasingly towards in-person events again, that doesn't mean that they're ignoring digital marketing strategies. One of my experts for this story, Jamie Skinner, told me that, in fact, hosting cool in-person events really helps with the fan page thing. He said, arguably, gathering this UGC is actually essential for running the fan pages right now. Because again, you have to post 1 to 5 times a day. Where are you going to get that content? The fans. You're really scaling how far each piece of content can go, Skinner says. Then, on top of that, we're doing micro-influencer campaigns too. And we can just ask these micro-influencers to go to these events to capture moments. Many of them are happy to just go to the show, capture a specific moment that we briefed them on, get them to post, and then send us the high-res files. It's great. So that's another digital marketing trend that has been happening even longer than the fan pages. Hiring creators, big and small, to post about a song or go to a concert and talk about how great it was in order to encourage the sale of tickets or increase streams of the song. Jamie is saying here, he's able to do the creator strategy, he's able to do the fan page strategy, and he's able to do the in-person strategy all in one. Why not invite a creator to a small, intimate set? The only thing that they have to do in return for getting that access is to post a very specific moment that you briefed them on beforehand. Then once they turn in the high-res files, the marketers have it on hand and they can just start reposting it over and over again on these fake fan pages. Maybe if you've never heard of this fan page strategy might freak you out. That's valid, but I think marketers would tell you that the main point of doing all that is to combat the saturation of the internet. It's harder and harder to break through every day. And also this alleviates the stress that's often put on artists to post more on TikTok all the time. So it's good for the artists too. But anyways, let me know what you think of this.
Yeah, you see the play now. You see the play now, don't you? Artists stream, they stream to create moments that they can then give to these fan pages. They can then post the content and help them break through the noise of the internet. And you heard it here yourself. Labels are pretending to be fan pages, not because they think it's cute or just because they think it's fun. No, it's because they know they need to post a lot of content about you, and all of that content isn't about to come from your main account. And also, it might be a lot of content that you just don't want to make. Now, she talked about it in relation to labels having their artists do events to
Man, make the content.
be able to use those events to get content to feed the fan pages. But if we boil it down, all she really said is that labels make moments so they can market it later. And you can be very meticulous and strategic about your streams to make sure that you're doing it in the same way. To give yourself the room to be able to stream for the sake of getting content and not because you're necessarily trying to become the next Casanat or iShowSpeed. And bonus points if you got fans that watch you already, because streaming is gonna give you a lot of these clips automatically. You stream, fans record you, fans clip up their favorite moment, they repost it, and all you gotta do is scroll later on and pick the moments that you wanna use later for your ad campaigns or your seeding campaigns. But once again, even if you don't have a crazy fan base built up, or you're in about, a mid-tier system where maybe you do have fans that watch you, but it's not a crazy amount, they're not super clipping you or anything like that, then you have to be strategic and you have to make sure that these boxes are getting ticked, right? I'm going into this stream to create XYZ pieces of content that help me execute XYZ narratives and XYZ goals so I can continue pushing forward with my other more artistic artist content. Basically, you're creating a media team for yourself. Now, I already mentioned it earlier, but you're not streaming to try to become a streamer. Unless you are, then hey, hats off to you. But you're streaming for other future marketing initiatives that you are either in the process of trying or may want to try out down the line. You may even be using it to cover holes that you couldn't get covered by traditional press or influencer campaigns, right? Like, streaming can really help you guys save a lot of money. Let's say, for example, you stream so you can have some extra UGC to post. You stream so you can show your artistry and find these different micro ways to prove to people how talented of an artist you really are. And you stream so your brand can coexist in the real world and on paper and on camera, and not just in your head. And if you want to use streaming the right way as an artist to help you build out that sweet, sweet content engine, then here's how you start. Number one, start small. You don't need super long streams. Once again, you're not trying to be Casanat, you're not trying to be iShowSpeed. You can start really small by streaming for 1 to 2 hours 2 to 3 times a week. And in these streams, remember, you're not chasing viewers. You're just looking to build your on-camera presence and creating moments that you can clip and use later. Number 2 is treat your stream like a production. Don't just go live. Plan 3 to 5 specific or key things that you want to do during that stream so you can get those moments that you can use later for your marketing. This could be a listening session. This could be you breaking down the inspiration of a song. This could be you recording yourself or engineering a session. This could be you reacting to music or a video or something that gives you a particular piece of content for you to hit a particular goal within your marketing and branding campaigns. So remember, you're not randomly streaming. You're streaming to create moments and create scenes that you can live through. And number 3 is create a fan page for yourself. And yes, you heard me. Now, I've said this in the video. As a matter of fact, you should check it out. Me ranking music marketing strategies. While I do talk.
Get to work.